I don't see companies like I don't see governments going anywhere. I don't see banks going anywhere, giving up their power. I don't see technocrats going anywhere. I think it's totally disruptive. But man, I there's so many ways this can go, and that's something I learned the hard way in trading. Is you cannot predict the future. I banged my head up against the wall for like a year trying to predict the future every day, and then I was like, nope. It's just beat into me, right? You think the trade's going to do something, doesn't do it, you cut your losses as soon as possible. When it does do it, you take it out at what you said your exit point was going to be. And the key that when we were trading is like, being right 51% of the time, wrong 49% of the time. But that 51% of the time you're right, you held on to your winners. The 49% of the time you're wrong, you cut your losers, whatever. Okay. And then you would hear all these people on CNBC like, oh, the market, the reason for the surge of the market was the interest rate. It's always the economist, right? He makes 60 grand a year and he knows everything that happened after the fact, right? It's like if he knew shit, he would have, put all his money on to where that was going, right? Instead of just getting on CNBC talking about, well, it's about interest rates, it's about inflation, and I know exactly what happened. You don't know anything, dude. All right, no one knows where stuff is going in the future. That's very important to understand. And for Bitcoin and crypto, if it becomes money, the bubble might continue. But weathering all these adverse conditions and all this stuff. But I do look at Bitcoin and crypto as a bubble right now. I don't know when that bubble's going to burst, but I know that every bubble does. It's at $10,000 a coin this year. It might be 30 grand next year. It might be 2 grand. I don't know. But I see that it has all the symptoms of a bubble in that everyone's asking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Massive amounts of people on Twitter and all these courses coming out. And it was like, what Jesse Livermore, who's a famous trader, said. He said, like, when the guy who works in the elevator, in your building, when the elevator boy is talking to you about stock tips, it's probably time to look that it's in a bubble and maybe you should be careful. But again, that's not a prediction for the future. Okay, just something to keep your eye on. So here's my advice. All right. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, but here's the meat and potatoes of my advice, okay? So at this point, I don't own any Bitcoin. I don't plan to own any Bitcoin except maybe as a small amount as a more secure online payment. Maybe in the future, if it becomes better accepted as a means of exchange, as part of a currency basket hedge against some kind of US dollar collapse in there with euros and, the Thai baht that I have now and maybe some crypto in there as a hedge against that is an option for me in the future. Again, I've got no prediction. Bitcoin's at 10 grand a coin right now. It could be 30 grand a coin, could be 2 grand a coin. I have no idea, absolutely no idea where it's going to go. Bitcoin can explode and I won't think I'm wrong, or it could implode and I won't be on here bragging next year about, oh, bro, I told you not to invest. No, I have no idea. Okay. I'm saying that I can't pull the trigger on it with the information that I have, as well as it does not fit my financial game plan. Okay. I highly suggest you check out that article that I wrote, how to create your financial game plan, or check out the YouTube video. And basically, like if I could break it down, it's like first step one is getting your income up. All right, getting your income up. So, and then step two is getting your savings, your emergency cash runway for your business. And then step three is getting control of your income, which is your business, right? So what you want to do first, and I recommend a service business for most guys, is because a service business is, you can get like 1,000% return on that. Or I have an info products business where, I can invest $400 into a book or $300 into producing an ebook. I'll make that back the first day. I'll have double that within the day of launch, like crazy margins, right? in service businesses, you can get 1,000% return, if not thousands of percent return. Okay. So I say aim for that, right? Get a service business, or get a business where you're making 75 to 100K in a developing country, or Western country, or the developing world equivalent, like here in Asia, 30 to 40 grand a year is the same as 6 figures. Okay. Prior to that, you're getting your savings up, you're getting your emergency cash up, you're getting your runway for your business, while you're working a job. And then once the business is up and operational, you're on your own. You've got your business to a good level. You've got your income coming in. You've got your emergency cash. You're able to save money every month and put it and keep stacking that cash up. And then you can look at reinvesting as much cash of that as you can into your business, into your marketing, into your advertising, right? Just because you're making 6 figures doesn't mean your business is tapped out, right? You could throw 20% of what you make every month back into advertising or SEO and all that stuff, and keep getting those 1,000% returns on it. All right. You can also do stuff like invest in supplies. Buy them in bulk for the quarter, for the year. This is something that Mark Cuban recommends. It's something that I do. I buy some stuff on a yearly basis, some stuff on a quarterly basis, some stuff on a monthly basis. You can see how to do all that in my book, How to Get Organized. Not only does it simplify your life, but you can save a lot of money doing that. It's a great saving technique. You can use the saving technique of like paying your rent a year in advance, so that you're not tempted to spend the money, so that you feel comfortable. Okay. And then once you have all that together, now you're outside of survival mode. Now you're comfortable. Okay. And now your future's looking bright. And then you can start looking at investing. But even then, have you maxed out your investment in your service business, right? If you're getting 1,000% return on your service business, as a real estate, insurance, or copywriting and all that, max that out first. You're not going to get that anywhere. And that's predictable. Like, my business is so predictable. If I see I'm making less money this month, I go in, I figure out, okay, that article got bumped down a bit in a ranking. We got to do another article around that, or we got to refresh that. Or if I got more, I can see, all right, more traffic's coming in from YouTube, Facebook, all this. It's like down to the letter predictable. And I can see, all right, if I spend X amount on this is the return I'm going to get. So you've got a money machine, you've got a totally predictable source of revenue. You've got something, if you've done it smart, it's 1,000, you can get 1,000% return on your money, if not more, in a service-based business, because you have no inventory, crazy stuff. So like, once you're good and comfortable, start maxing that out. Like, my buddy was making $4,000 a month. He's a car broker, of a $500 worth of Google AdWords spend, right? He wasn't doing any outbound. He wasn't doing anything more than $500 spend, and he was making $4,000 a month as a car broker, right? Crazy return on that was just, he wasn't doing Facebook. He wasn't doing anything like that on just that one $500 a month Google AdWords campaign. Or, okay, if you want to reinvest in other ways, you can hire a marketing team. You can hire white hat SEO. You can hire a cold caller or a cold emailer. You can max out your marketing spend. You can do all kinds of things like that, right? I'd say like max that. Like, if you have a high margin business, you can't get those returns in the market. And maybe you can get them in Bitcoin if you're lucky, but it's like, it doesn't compare in terms of predictability, in terms of building your brand, in terms of, consistency, in terms of being able to analyze the data. When I was a trader, it drove me crazy because I didn't know what I was going to make. I would make 100,000 one month. I'd make $3,000 the next month. And then there were periods where I didn't make money for 2 months, right?